I was going to show people a clip of Conservative MP, rookie Conservative MP David Bexey's maiden speech, I guess you could say, for Bow River in the House of Commons. I think we'll just show like a minute or two of it, and then I would love to close out the show by just showing it at the end. It's 8 minutes. You will be, if you care about Western Canada, riveted. Because as a Westerner, I was like, exactly. Like, there's so many times that I was like, I wish I had said that. I wish I had said that. Exactly what I was thinking. I just didn't know how to say it. And I communicate for a living. So let's hear from Cian Bexey's dad.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in this House today with humility and purpose. I stand here with a promise, one that shaped my family across generations. A promise that if you work hard, raise your family, and love your country, you'll be free to live in dignity and peace. I'm the great-grandson of a pioneer who broke the untamed fields of what would become Alberta before there was power and pavement. I'm also the son of a farmer who survived communism with nothing but his hands, his family, and the hope that Alberta would be a place where his children could speak freely, live safely, and never bow to a state that hated them. My father didn't come to Canada in 1953 for a handout. He didn't arrive on a student visa or as part of some bureaucratic temporary foreign worker program. No, Hubert Bexey came to Canada to build a farm, to build a community, to build a country, and most importantly, to build a family. He paid back his own passage from Europe by laboring in Alberta's sugar beet fields. On the southern edge of this very riding, I represent here today with no welfare, no hotel rooms, no Liberal-sponsored welcome package, just sweat, sacrifice, and a belief that what Canada could be was what we should aspire to. I chose to raise my own 4 children in the Alberta countryside because that's where promise still lives. It lived with my great-grandfather's hands, it lived in my father's footsteps, and now it lives in my children. And let me say this, I would not be here without the support of my wife, Lorelei, my children, Kyle, Cian, William, and Annalise, my mother, Nadine, and the rest of my extended family. I also want to thank the many people of Bow River, from Grassy Lakes to Tilly, Gem to Bicycle, Conrich to Siksika Nation, Arrowwood, Marlow, Carmangay, Barnwell, and everywhere in between. You are my neighbors. You are us, who I aspire to be, and I hold this seat for you. I also owe a debt of gratitude to 4-H Alberta, a program in a community that shaped me early. I joined when I was 9 years old, and it was there that I learned how to speak with confidence, work with purpose, and serve my neighbors. It's where I first lived the motto I could still carry with me today, to learn to do by doing. Mr. Speaker, I also want to recognize the young people watching today. In Alberta, the grade 6 curriculum, grade 6 students learn about our political system, and many are watching these proceedings live. One of those classrooms is taught by Dr. Brian Jackson of Lyalta, and these students are paying attention. They're learning not from sound bites, but from how we carry ourselves in this House. Mr. Speaker, the riding that sent me here is called Bow River. It's not just a place, it's a people. It's a home, it's a promise. You see, much like the people who rely on it, the Bow doesn't ask Ottawa's permission to flow. It carves through rocks, it sustains life, it cuts a path forward whether anyone is in this chamber notices or not. The Bow runs past oil wells shut down by people who have never set foot on a rig. It flows past farms taxed by bureaucrats who couldn't grow a weed. It flows past churches left to burn. While politicians offered excuses instead of justice, it flows past the homes of veterans, seniors, and families forgotten by the system, but not by me. The beautiful thing about the Bow is this: even when the government grinds to a halt, it keeps flowing. When politicians hostile to Alberta try to strangle our economy, it keeps flowing. When bureaucrats and glass towers write the rules that cripple our farms, it keeps flowing. When unelected judges rewrite our rules and call it progress, it keeps flowing. When they shut down our churches, our rigs, and our rodeos, it keeps flowing. The Bow doesn't care about trendy acronyms or performative politics. It cares about feeding cattle, watering crops, and quenching the thirst of a working land. It fuels an ecosystem, an economy, and it helps feed the world. It doesn't wait for permission. It flows where it needs to flow. And if it wasn't clear, Mr. Speaker, I'm not just talking about the river, I'm talking about the people. Because just like the bow, we move with purpose. And we're done with waiting for the rest of the country to catch up. We don't need a national strategy, we need Ottawa to get out of the way. Mr. Speaker, I ran to represent the people who built this country, and now watch it being dismantled by people who don't understand it. And worse, don't even like it. This week, the Prime Minister stood before this country and promised more of the same. A new housing bureaucracy, a new set of buzzwords instead of a budget, and more red tape instead of results. And not a word, not a single word about oil and gas pipelines or the workers who drive our economy. Let's be honest with Canadians. We don't need to renew the consensus on immigration, the one that's fueled the Liberal political ambition for a decade. We need to rebuild this country for Canadians. We don't need to gaslight working families into acceptance of out-of-control immigration while wages stagnate, house prices explode, and services collapse. We need to restore common sense and put Canadians first in their own country. Woo. We don't need more empty promises. We need paychecks you can raise a family on, homes you can actually afford, and streets you feel safe walking down. We need less gatekeeping, less government, and a whole lot more grit. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I come from the part of Canada that feeds this country and fuels its economy. So you'll understand if I speak plainly. Because where I come from, words matter, but work and deeds matter more. I'm here to fight for the honest worker, the family farmer, the rig hand, the rancher, the welder, the widow, the health worshiper, and every kid who still believes this country can be worth something. Wow. I come to this House with one of the strongest mandates in the nation. Sure and Mr. Speaker, do you know how I earned it? I promised to rip this place down to the studs and start rebuilding a country we can recognize again. The Prime Minister this week showed he's here to do the opposite. Behind the pageantry and parades, he disrespected the Crown by using the King to deliver a tired and empty speech, meant to distract Canadians from a simple truth. He's still stumbling forward on the heels of Justin Trudeau's failed record. Mr. Speaker, I have deep respect for our institutions, but what Canadians needed this week wasn't ceremonial flourishes, they needed substance. Not sentiment, but solutions. Not more speeches from elites in suits, but action for people in coveralls. The farmers, the builders, the rig hands, the parents wondering how they'll afford groceries and heat at the same time. Canadians are tired of being lectured. They're tired of being told everything is fine when they can see with their eyes that it's not. This country has a proud and noble history. It was built by pioneers, sustained by families, and defended by those willing to risk everything for the promise of freedom and prosperity. But after a decade of mismanagement and division from the Liberal front bench, that promise is fading. Alberta separatism is no longer a fringe idea. I heard it at the doors more times than I can count. And I'll tell you plainly, Alberta staying in Confederation is not up to me, and it's not up to the Liberal government. It's up to the people of Alberta. And the Albertans know that they have options. If this House continues to insult, abuse, and neglect Alberta, if it refuses to treat our people and our industries with the respect that they've earned, then the future of this country is not guaranteed. No, this job here tomorrow. At any moment, this government could lose the confidence of the House. And when that moment comes, Canadians will remember who stayed with them and who stood in their way. Because when the system stalls, the Bow River keeps flowing. When this government offers platitudes instead of a plan, the bow keeps flowing. When they forget who built this country, we remember and we keep moving. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the people of Bow River for one of the strongest mandates in this nation. To my family and my friends, my neighbors, thank you for trusting me with this duty. I won't let you down. I didn't come here to rub shoulders with royalty. I came here to fight for the families, farmers, and energy workers who build this country. And I'll keep fighting until the Liberal government gets the message. Because that promise still lives, and I intend to keep it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, it was 8 minutes long. I was only going to show 2 minutes, but I just didn't know when to cut off David Bexty.
Slow clap worthy. I'd stand up if I wasn't still in my pajama pants.
Same.
That was beautiful and so Canadian.
So Canadian. It just, you can tell, like when he said, I was in 4-H, it taught me how to speak. He used every single one of his 4-H public speaking skills. And like everything he said, I was like, man, I wish I was smart enough to say it that way.
Wow.
Cian Bexley comes by his passion, honestly. That's what I learned today.
Yeah, this is, watch out when you elect a Bexty.
Yeah, careful.
That was some of our parents. I never even thought about that, man. My mom got in there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know her name.
and Cian's dad, if I recall correctly, like he said, he's the great grandson of a pioneer and the son of a man who fled tyranny. And he's a farmer, but if I recall correctly, worked in oil and gas, so for Schlumberger. So he's got his fingers in all the things that make Alberta great. And I think he won't be a backbencher for long. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. He said he got the strongest mandate. That was in Alberta.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was
I'm just digging it up right now. David Bexty, Conservative. Let's look.
Yeah, that was a powerful speech, man.
Yeah. What did he get? He got 79%. So that is not the strongest, but it's one of the strongest. I think Battle River Crowfoot was a little bit stronger. But those are the kind of numbers that Conservatives win in Alberta. Like I said, with our frustration with the election, like, look, we cannot physically vote Conservative any harder than we do, but it's not enough to make a difference because of where the ridings are.
Hey, what do you think about Alberta independence? What do you think about Alberta trying to get a better deal within Canada? Do you think Alberta should have the right to vote in a referendum to separate, the same way Quebec did? There's a lot of things to talk about. Can Canada be fixed, or has the West tried that, done that, been there, and it's just not working? Well, we're going to talk about all these things in an amazing day-long conference in Red Deer, the heart of Alberta, on Saturday, June 14th. Go to donegettingscrewed.com to get your tickets now. It's going to be a full day. We'll start with a continental breakfast. We'll have panel discussions. We'll have keynote speakers. We'll even have a debate. I think that's going to be the highlight of it. David Legg, former advisor to the Alberta government, is going to make the case for Canada. Keith Wilson, lawyer, freedom activist, he was with the Freedom Convoy. He'll be making the case for independence. We'll have other people in the debates, a media panel, and people of different points of view, including different political parties. There's going to be a bit of a trade show there too. So we'll serve you 2 meals, but more than that, we'll serve you ideas you just can't get anywhere else. But it's coming up quick, and I promise you this event will sell out. There's only room for 1,000 people. And I know that there have been 1,000-person meetings about this subject all over the province. In fact, we had an event in Calgary that sold out in 2 days when we had only 350 seats. So don't be disappointed. Go to donegettingscrewed.com and get your tickets now. I'll be there. Sheila Gunn-Reid will be there. So many interesting people. Our friends in other media companies like Western Standard, Juno News, and Countersignal. It's going to be a great day. That's Saturday, June 14th in Red Deer, Alberta, all day long. Go to donegettingscrewed.com to get your ticket now. Don't wait. I don't want you to be locked out. It's going to be full. See you there. That's donegettingscrewed.com.